Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Completionist, and the game I'm going to talk to you about today is one of my favorite games of all time, and that game is Star Fox for the SNES. Star Fox is a rail shooter that was released in 1993 by Nintendo, and even to this day, Star Fox remains one of Nintendo's most beloved franchises. So guys, I'm going to speak a bit of blasphemy for a moment, and when you mention Star Fox, a lot of people usually say that Star Fox 64 is their favorite Star Fox game. But for me, I actually found Star Fox 64 a little too easy, even though, trust me, it's a really great game. I recommend everybody should give it a try. But one of the things that I loved about Star Fox is that it had a good amount of difficulty in it, and even to this day it has probably one of my most favorite SNES soundtracks of all time, because I absolutely love the music for this game. So guys, in terms of completing this game, you need to play it at least 4 to 5 times in order to do everything. So what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you each of the 3 paths you can take to reach the final boss. Now, each path gets progressively more difficult, so I want to show you some of the things you have to watch out for in terms of getting through this game. Also, another thing I'm going to show you is 2 of the other bonus areas in this game and actually how to get there. So anyway guys, let's get to it and let me show you how to complete Star Fox. Here is Star Fox. Such an awesome game from my opinion. So let's get started, guys. So guys, here is the preparation screen. As you see me do right now, you can fly up or down, then you can fly right, and then do a barrel roll to the right, and then you can fly left and do a barrel roll to the left. You can then fire your laser, you can use your brake, and then you can use your boost afterwards. And finally, you can unleash one of your Nova Bombs in order to get accustomed to the control of your R-Wing fighter. So before we get started, you do have the option of setting your own controls. Unfortunately, you only have a choice of 4 types of button configurations, so figure out which one works best for you. I'm just going to go through them all just to let you see what your options are in terms of the controls, and then we'll jump into the gameplay. I do recommend that if you play this game for the first time, you give training mode a try first so you can get used to the controls. In the meantime, let's get straight into the game. So here is the world map of Star Fox. You can see on the map that you have a total of 3 routes to reach the planet of Venom, in which you can fight the final boss. The middle route, which is known as level 1, is the easiest route to Venom, and if you're playing this game for the first time, I would recommend taking on this route first. With Route 2, the levels are slightly more difficult, but it is a good transition in terms of difficulty. You have a total of 6 levels to complete in order to finish Route 2. The hardest of those levels, from my opinion, is Sector X. With Route 3, the levels can be insanely difficult, especially the levels after the asteroid belt level. Hello, Mr. Shooting Star. With this route, you have a total of 7 levels to complete, and it can be incredibly difficult. Sector Z is my most hated level of the entire game. In order to complete the game, we need to pass each of the 3 routes. So let's get started with Route 1. Corneria will always be the first level for each of the 3 routes, so try to get as many power-ups when completing the first level. In the first Corneria level, for every route you have an opportunity of getting a twin laser power-up if you fly through all the obstacles on the ground, as you see me do right now. Twin laser power-ups are absolutely necessary if you want to have an easier time with this game and should never be missed. However, you can only upgrade your laser twice, and you will lose any laser upgrades when you get killed. The first boss of Route 1 is known as the Attack Carrier. Just before fighting this boss, just make sure you stay low to the ground or else the boss will ram into you. You can defeat this boss by blasting the open compartments. Once you blast all 3 compartments of this boss, shoot at the middle section of this boss while avoiding his laser blasts. This is actually a fairly easy boss. One thing that I forgot to mention is when you play any level of Star Fox, try to shoot down as many enemies as possible to try to achieve the highest score. The highest score you can get is 10,000 points, and that's if you score 100%. You can get extra continues if you score 10,000, 30,000, or 50,000 points. So take advantage of killing as many enemies as possible to maximize your score potential. The next level for Route 1 is the Asteroid Belt level. The boss of this level is known as the Rock Crusher. On each side of the Rock Crusher there are 4 little devices that you need to destroy on each side of the Rock Crusher in order to do damage to this boss. Once all 8 little devices are destroyed, shoot the middle of this boss while avoiding his laser blasts, and you should have no problems defeating this boss. The next level for Route 1 is the Space Armada level, in which the boss for this level is the Atomic Core. What you need to do for this boss fight is that you need to shoot all 3 laser barriers on the wall. Once all 3 laser barriers are gone, the Atomic Core will open up. Just keep shooting at it and it will eventually go down. The next level for Route 1 is the Meteor level, in which the boss for this level is the Dancing Insector. What you need to do in this boss fight is that you need to shoot its legs until they turn orange. Once they have turned orange, you can actually start to shoot the legs off the boss. As you're doing that, just avoid the boss's fire blast and when he spins toward you. Once all the legs are gone, just shoot at the middle section of the boss until it is destroyed. The next level for Route 1 is the first Venom level, in which the boss for this level is known as the Phantron. Keep shooting at this ship as it moves back and forth on the screen. Once you deplete more than half of its energy, it will split into 3 ships. 2 of the ships are fake, so fire at each of them until you notice which one is taking damage. Then keep aiming at that ship until it's destroyed. The final level is the Venom ground level, in which the Phantron is still the boss for this level. He'll immediately split into his 3-ship form once the battle starts. Find out which ship takes damage and then deplete all of its health. Obviously I didn't do a good job with this battle since I lost one of my wings. The Phantron will then transform into its true form. You can only shoot him in the middle section. Just be careful because the Phantron can jump at you, and from time to time it does split into 3 ships for a small period of time. Just keep aiming at his midsection and he'll go down quickly. Don't be afraid to use your bombs. With the Phantron defeated, we take one last tunnel to get to Andross, which is the final boss for this game. In the tunnel, try to pick up as many power-ups as you can and take any opportunity to refill on your energy. You still have obstacles you need to dodge, so fly carefully and you should have no problems reaching the final boss. With regards to beating Andross, you just need to shoot at both of his eyes. Avoid the mirrors that he shoots at you since they can do a lot of damage. With both of his eyes destroyed, his face begins to crumble and you see the Andross cube fly at you. In Route 1, a well-placed Nova Bomb and a couple of laser shots will take care of him fairly quickly. There we have it. We successfully completed Route 1 for Star Fox. Just before the credits roll, you'll see your percentage of how well you did for all the stages for Route 1. I'll be honest, being a completionist, I'm kind of disappointed I never got 100% on all the stages. But even if I did, it doesn't do anything extra for the game, and you can still complete it even without getting 100% for all the stages. Still, 97% is nothing to feel bad about. With Route 1 completed, let's move on to Route 2. The first level for Route 2 is Corneria. The levels are a little more difficult, but it eases you into the difficulties, so it shouldn't be too much for you to handle. As with every Corneria level, pass through the obstacles at the beginning of the level in order to get a twin laser power-up, even though it's a little more difficult to get. The boss for the Corneria level is the same boss from Route 1, known as the Attack Carrier. Use the same strategy as before and you shouldn't have any problems. Second level for Route 2 is known as Sector X, and it is my least favorite level for Route 2. Before I show you who the boss is for this level, I just wanted to provide you with some tips for getting through this level. Never miss the shield power-up because it will help you through the final section of this level. This is the area I was talking about before. Barriers come from all directions. The reason why I changed out of my cockpit point of view is that if you actually fly through this part of the level while in cockpit mode, an enemy ship will come down and shoot laser blasts at your ship. You can avoid this by pressing the select button to change your point of view. Obviously, I didn't do a good job avoiding the barriers since I'm incredibly low on health. The boss for this level is yet another boss we have faced before, known as the Rock Crusher. Use the same strategy as before and eventually this boss will go down fairly quickly. The third level for Route 2 is known as Titania. This level is actually pretty interesting because this level is a good way of maximizing your laser power-up. When you come to this section of the level, choose the middle path first to upgrade your laser if you haven't already. If you choose anything but the right path, the level will continually loop over until you pass through the right path. So go through the center door until your laser is completely powered up, and then you can go through the right door and activate the weather device, which will change the weather. And then you can progress through the rest of the level. The boss for this level is known as Professor Hanger, who is incredibly easy. A well-placed Nova Bomb and shooting your lasers as fast as possible, and you can defeat this boss before he even launches his first attack. The fourth level for Route 2 is known as Sector Y, and it is one of my favorite levels. It has plenty of gigantic creatures soaring through space. One thing that I wanted to make note of is never shoot the large blue stingrays. If you do shoot them, they'll turn red and come right after you. If they hit you, they can do massive amounts of damage. Now, if you kill certain enemies in this level, such as all the squid and other wildlife in Sector Y, besides the large stingrays, just before you fight the boss, a whale will appear and leave a trail of power-ups, such as a shield, Nova Bombs, laser power-ups, and even more health. You're going to need it because this boss can be a little tricky. The boss for this level is known as the Plasma Hydra. In order to do damage to this boss, you need to shoot at its arms. Even if you destroy the arms, they will still recharge. You need to shoot at the squares coming out of the arms to do serious damage. Once the boss has taken enough damage, he'll abandon the arms and try to hit you with its spiked tail while sending projectiles at you. Also, one thing to note is that when you defeat the boss, always remember to brake or go to the left or to the right, because the boss will try to hit you one last time before it dies. So guys, that takes care of part 1 on how to complete Star Fox. Stay tuned for part 2, in which we'll look at the final 2 Venom levels for Route 2. We'll then continue with showing you how to complete Route 3. I'll also show you 2 of the big secrets that this game has to offer. So please look forward on how to complete Star Fox Part 2. Take care everybody, and thanks for watching. Gotta love that 100%.